Welcome to Breakfast Food, the comedy podcast featuring feel-good stories, anecdotes, and advice you never even knew you needed. Featuring me, Annabel Logan.
Me, Cara McKinley.
Oh god, that took so long to do.
But it didn't take as long. It's taken longer.
It's taken longer. What's wrong with me? It starts up and I just can't contain my excitement.
It's the first bit. It's hard to get the first, and then you get going, and then it's fine.
And then it's fine because then we just start talking.
Yes,
like normal.
The only scripted bit, and the scripted bits are scary.
Yeah, maybe it's just fear.
Maybe it's just fear.
Ah, man, how are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm back on my medication.
Oh,
I
good.
ran out. I went to the pharmacy. They didn't have it. They said,
no.
come back at the end of the week. And I did. And it was really bad. And I'm back on it and now I feel great again.
Whew, that's good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I get the same way with my medication too. Yeah, a couple of hairy moments there. It's good to be on it.
You're in a new house.
I am. Yeah, since we've spoken, I've moved house. So now in a rather cozy flat. It's
And
very
that's
cozy.
nice.
We can wear our t-shirts and not feel cold.
I
which-
specifically came in shorts
Brilliant.
because I knew I was going to be really warm.
It's crazy. I've never lived in such a place that is just so tropical for Scotland.
It's very rare in Edinburgh to have double or triple glazing.
It's crazy rare. I honestly sweat, and I'm not a sweat person, but this is something else, so I'm getting used to it. Keep hydrated.
You're going to be laughing in winter.
I know. I'll be looking out from my window on the third floor,
Your steamy window from all the
laughing
heat.
at everyone walking past in the cold.
Meanwhile, I'll have my one oil heater that we take out and we just keep it in whatever room we're spending the most time in.
Do you wear little fingerless gloves and put them up?
Yeah, I have a little cup with my mead in it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, no, we all end up congregating. The cats sit on either side of it.
Oh man.
It's nice and it's also horrible. Winter's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
But we don't have to think about that right now because
It's not winter.
It's August. It's smack bang in the middle of the fringe.
I know. I personally have been not really going into town.
I was going to say, have you seen anything?
I went to see a kid show
Ah, yes.
because I have a child now.
Which one was it?
It's called Grow.
Oh, that's
It's
apt.
cute. It's very cute. It's literally a little 35-minute play about helping a plant grow in the garden.
Cute.
So we made a plant grow. Greta was very into it, and she said hello and goodbye to all the animals that came. I didn't realize how into it she would get, but she wants to go to theaters now, I think.
Yay!
So little theater buddy.
You're passing it on. The genes,
know.
they're strong. I've seen 0 shows.
Wonderful.
I even went to London and saw something in London instead.
You're like, fuck you, Fringe.
Honestly, and every year I'm like, I am going to go see stuff. I am, because I don't want to be one of those people that is an Edinburgh native and therefore hates the Fringe.
Yes.
But it's just so busy.
It's just so busy, and those streets are not made for so many people.
No. And I cycle, and cyclists already don't get no respect.
Nah.
The cars hate us, the pedestrians hate us. But in the Fringe in particular, no one is ever. I feel like I'm such a old curmudgeon, but it's people just walk on the roads just whenever, and they're like, I'm on a bike. We're both gonna get so badly hurt. It's gonna be terrible for the both of us if you do this.
Bikes can hurt.
Bikes can hurt. I ran up a child's leg.
Oh no.
It wasn't even during the Fringe. It was really horrible. I think about it all the time. I was going through the meadows, and there was this little kid, and it was his parents were on one side. The meadows has a cycle track, which I was in.
Yes.
Parents were on one side, the kid was on the other side, and I was watching him. He was maybe 9 or 10, and I was watching him because I was like a scared lamb, he is gonna run across this track. I know he is, but he wasn't. He was so chill, and I was going, and so as I arrived, or as I was coming up a little bit closer to him, I was like, careful, or look out, or something like that. And he looked at me and then just ran right in front of me.
Oh,
again,
no.
clearly just wanted to get to his parents. I Yes.
Yeah.
So I like emergency stopped the bike, but like a little bit too late, and like my wheel like ran up his leg a little bit. I'm laughing because I'm not in it now.
Yeah.
But like at the time, and you know when you get a fright and you don't know how you're going to react, I reacted by yelling at his mum.
Oh no.
And I was
to
like,
be there.
I know. I was like, you need to be careful. And she was like, you're cycling so fast. Like, you should cycle slower. And I was like, you wouldn't tell a car to go slower? Anyway.
You wouldn't have time.
I regret
if driving real fast.
I regret my choices. I think about it all the time.
Oh, man.
If you happen to be listening, mother of that child, I'm sorry I shouted at you. But also, keep an eye out.
Yeah, there's a psychopath for a reason. It's quite clearly divided.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, it happens. I mean, not always running
Yeah.
on children's legs of the bike.
It's the first and last time so far I've run into a child on my bike.
Hey.
So, you know,
yeah.
it's a good track record. I cycle basically every day.
Yeah, exactly. When
So-
you break it down into like 365 days of the year, that's
And I've
a
never
good
hit an
average.
adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far. I'm going to wait until that kid grows up.
Yeah.
And then I'm coming back.
You come to haunt this child.
He's like in his awkward teenage phase and
yeah.
he just hears me ringing my bell.
Yeah. He's like, I know that bell.
Yeah. That's the thing, I didn't even have a bell at that time. That's why I shouted, be careful, or
Yeah.
watch out, whatever I said, because my bell wasn't working. So I shouted
man.
at him instead, which, again, in hindsight, terrifying, horrible. I really do feel bad for that child. Anyway, let's not dwell. We're bringing a new segment / idea for the podcast. We don't know if it's going to work. It might be fun. It might be shite. So we're gonna test it out today. You will know this concept. I'm sure you've done it in your daily lives before. It's called Two Truths and a Lie. So
in your daily
in
life.
your daily life, every day you sit down to your dinner
You do your lies.
and you do your daily affirmations and your daily lies.
Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
But we've all done it. We've all played the game before. Usually it'll be like 2 facts about yourself that are real, 1 fact about yourself that's fake. We're trying to pull on the name of our podcast that we've never actually done anything with, breakfast food. And I have prepared 3 breakfast stories, 2 of which are based in truth. And now they are based in truth because I will probably elaborate, because I don't want Annabel to guess which one is the real one or the wrong one. So I'm probably gonna embellish the stories a little bit. One of them I've made up entirely.
I'm so intrigued.
I'm going to tell Annabelle all 3 of my stories, and it is up to you, skeptic, to tell me which one you think is fake. Hiding my notes. In fact,
I can't see.
yeah, and also, you don't know, my notes are inscrutable.
Okay.
Now, which order do I want to tell these in?
So I'm going to have a quick slurp into the mic. No, I'm not.
When I came in, Annabelle asked me, not if I wanted a drink, specifically if I wanted a gin.
Gin?
Just gin. There's nothing else in this house.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know of a man called Joseph French? Story number 1.
No. A man called Joseph French.
Joseph French was an innkeeper in 1724. He was an innkeeper in New York. As an innkeeper, he was doing things such as breakfast for his tenants.
Yes.
However, when you're doing things for breakfast, it's hard to know whether you're going to have 2 people staying over, whether you're going to have 10 people staying over, so on and so forth. So it was really difficult to keep up with the amount of food that he needed to have per day for breakfast. Because of this, a lot of things were going off. So his bread would start to go stale, or his eggs would start to go off, or things like this.
Okay, that makes sense.
To disguise the stale bread, he started to soak it in eggs and milk.
Okay, I'm seeing where this could be going.
This was the first incarnation, is that the right word? Of French toast.
Delightful.
It is named French toast because Joseph himself decided to name it after himself. However, grammatically incorrectly, that's not how you say it.
Yeah,
However,
grammatically.
however, his grammar wasn't good. And instead
His
of naming it,
grammar.
his grandpa was not well.
Okay.
His grammar was not good.
Okay.
And so instead of calling it French's toast, it ended up being called French toast. And so the delicacy that we know now, French toast, was actually originally named after Joseph French, from 1724, New York.
I love it.
That's story number 1.
Okay, can I speak about it?
Yeah, any questions, any thoughts, concerns?
Did he name it himself then?
Yes, as far as I'm aware.
Bit of an ego.
Yes. Named it after himself, supposed to be French's.
I'm curious as to like how news spread about his French toast.
Don't actually know that part. Whether I have a feeling it must have been like a... So when I was looking it up, apparently there have been records of it being the... What's the word I'm looking for? What's it called? Recipe.
Oh.
Apparently the recipe or something similar has been dated back to Roman times. However, the first time it was like documented as something, it was Joseph French toast.
Okay, I was interested. I was gonna ask that question of I cannot fathom that this one man has invented putting egg on some bread.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a common preservation method, or like method to get rid of a bunch of stuff in your pantry.
Yeah, like pancakes.
Yeah, I think that's a little spoiler for another story that's coming up.
Oh,
But yeah, I think that the reason that it's named that way isn't because he was the first person to ever do it, but I think that was the first like documented time someone named the thing.
The first time someone's head was big enough to name it after themselves.
And someone's head was big enough to name it after themselves, and someone's grammar was rotten enough that they didn't do it correctly in the end.
I mean, it rings off, I think it rings better, French toast.
Yes.
French's toast is just too many psts.
It's too much.
Yeah.
That's why I looked up French toast in the first place, was because I thought French toast, there must be a story there, because I can't fathom that this would be actually French, because French people, I'm about to be a Zionist,
hate eggs.
really love bread. That's where I was going with it. French people are always going on about how great their bread is and how great their butter is. So I would I would have expected that they wouldn't want to sully their bread, their beautiful bread,
with a gross bit of egg,
with gross eggs.
Okay.
That's story number 1.
Cool.
Tangent. Mm-hmm. Can you eat eggs just fine, or are you the type of person that you're eating an egg and you're fine about it, and then you remember it's an egg and you feel sick?
Oh, interesting. I sometimes will just eat it and feel sick without remembering it's an egg. Maybe I don't know what that means. Am I allergic?
Do you do that
to
with
eggs?
other things too, or just egg?
Yeah, I know other things as well.
Oh.
I think maybe my stomach has a brain in it, right? Is that's sort of true?
Your stomach is very connected to like your brain. Yeah.
So I think it must be like there's too much going on here. You've overdone it on your eggs. Pasta, blah, blah, blah.
I can eat scrambled eggs as long as there's stuff in it.
Okay.
Like ham. Okay. Scrambled eggs and ham on a pita. Amazing. So good.
Yum.
My staple breakfast, because it's half the calories of a bacon roll, which is what I actually want to eat for breakfast.
Yeah, you can pretend, you can tell your brain it is actually.
Yeah, I tell my brain it's like, you know when you get like degrees of separation away from a thing? So like what I want is a bacon sandwich on like Warburton's white bread.
Oh yes.
Lots of butter, loads of bacon. Mm-hmm. However, if I have that every day, I'm going to get gout. So I had to like pare back. Instead of 2 slices of white bread, 1 pita, like half the calories. Yep. Instead of bacon, sometimes turkey bacon. Instead of turkey bacon, sometimes just ham. If it's just ham, you can toss an egg in there, and you're still under half the calories of the other thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, fair. Okay.
Are you ready for story number 2?
I am ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me decide which one we're going. Okay, well, since we already had the spoiler that pancakes were coming into the story.
Yeah, pancakes.
Do you know Queen Victoria?
I know her very well.
Yes, you know Queen Victoria, or at least you know Queen Victoria was quite influential in her time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She famously is the reason that we have Christmas trees here.
Indeed.
Because her husband had one and she was like, we should all have one of these. And we were like, yup, that's that.
Those Germans knew what was going on with some trees.
I feel like Germans know how to do Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Where did that come from? They do. Have you ever been to a traditional full-on Christmas market?
Just the Edinburgh one.
Edinburgh one. Pa.
There's the Edinburgh one that is so thoroughly ruined for me now that I've worked at it.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh man. I worked at it, like, I think 2 Christmases ago? 3 Christmases ago?
It would have been 3, because I was still pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you couldn't try my wares. I was selling booze.
I could not try my wares, and I could barely do up my coat.
Oh. Yeah, it was rotten. Working at the Christmas market, loads of money. Mm-hmm. Just terrible, horrible time.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm not speaking about Christmas or markets. I'm speaking about crumpets.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
So
I'll tell you about a crumpet in a second.
Oh no, maybe you already know this. Well, let's see.
No, I don't.
Okay, good. Crumpets originally were a lot more like pancakes. Mm-hmm. They were flat and whatnot. However, after people started adding yeast and other raising agents, it caused them to rise up and become the crumpets that we know today, around the Victorian period. Mm-hmm. The visual of the crumpet with the sort of, I don't know, the holy, yeah, due to the way that it was looking at this point in its like inception, it was a lower class food. It was like not really a food you would see on like upper class tables, if that makes sense.
I am clearly the resurrection of a very rich Victorian woman.
You don't like a crumpet?
Oh, the holes.
Okay.
They make me actually feel very sick just looking at them.
Oh, do you get that with anything else that's got holes, or just crumpets?
So far, it's been crumpets.
Just
crumpets. I don't know.
Can't even say it without throwing up in your mouth a little bit.
Yeah, there's something about them. It's like, and when you like dissect them, they're like little spongy. They just look very like anatomical, like
a heart.
Like a heart.
Yeah.
There's something just.
Have I ever told you I've eaten heart before?
Human heart.
Yes.
Yes.
No, chicken heart.
Okay. And?
Spongy. Really not nice.
No.
Like, I can't remember what the taste was like. I'm sure it tasted totally normal.
Just really chickeny.
Don't even... honestly, I cannot remember it probably tasted dark meat adjacent.
Okay, yeah.
But the thing I remember was that it was porous. And
Yeah, not nice.
No, there was like 4 of them on a skewer that I ate.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
How did you stumble across these hearts?
I was teaching in Japan, and I was taken out by the other teachers and my adult students for like a welcome dinner. And it was like a buffet of like basically like a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. And because it was my dinner, I had to eat first.
Okay.
So that everyone else could eat this stuff, because like they were there for me. So like I drank first, then everyone else drank, and so on and so forth. So when something new came to the table, I would eat a bit of it first, and then everyone else could eat it. And one of the things just happened to be chicken hearts.
Aye.
Yeah. There are certain parts of a chicken that we don't eat here that are wonderful to eat. Believe it or not, chicken feet are really tasty. It is the texture of chicken feet is great.
Because like they're like fried.
Yeah, they're just real crunchy. Same with chicken skin. There's like chicken skin skewers.
I love a bit of chicken skin.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, roast dinners, I would ask for an extra helping of chicken skin.
When it's crispy, yes. When it's not crispy,
no.
Horrible.
Yeah,
that's literally just skin at that point. That's when you remember you're eating a mammal.
Right? Yeah, you're like, no. My reminds me my granny, because she was so like wartime. I remember very clearly her having for lunch like ox tongue and just chucking it on a wee plate, and you're just like, there's a giant tongue on a plate.
Does it just look like tongue?
It was just a big old giant ox tongue.
Whoa.
Like nothing done to it. I don't know what she must have done something to it.
Well,
I mean, it would have been really chewy.
I'm assuming it was boiled. That seems like a boil it whole situation.
But how do you do that?
I don't know. I've never eaten ox tongue.
Answers.
Never eaten ox tongue. Never eaten jellied eels. I know that's more of an English one.
Yeah. It's like Cockney traditional.
Is it Cockney?
I think so.
Interesting.
Jellied eels.
I have had though paste. I don't know if you were ever given a paste sandwich. It's just called. It's like chicken paste or ham paste or
like pate. But
pate, but like
lower than pate.
Like 15 pence. I probably would. I think nowadays you can get like a Morrison's version of it for like 35p.
Oh, and they come in a tube.
No, it comes in a little glass jar.
Paste.
It's just called paste. Yeah, I love it. To this day, every now and again I will indulge. And I have never heard anyone else talk about it until Hannah, my bewedded my
also
wife to be.
eaten
She also
paste?
she also had paste. She called them paste cobs.
You
Like,
guys could bond over paste.
we did bond over paste. I was like, we should serve it at our wedding. But yeah, I don't know. That was definitely that also feels like a war hangover of just like indiscriminate chicken flavored paste on a sandwich. But it's really listen, the elusive chicken and ham paste.
Ooh.
You get tuna paste.
Okay, I can see tuna paste. It's like just smashing some tuna mayonnaise further.
Yeah. It's great. I love all of the paste.
Okay.
Salmon paste? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we've gotten horribly off topic.
As we do.
So, crumpets.
Yes.
Originally more pancakey, yeast was added, rose up the crumpets, gave it that holy texture that we've now discovered you also hate.
Yeah.
Which made it firmly a lower class food at the time. It was once again much like French toast, just a way to get rid of some of your perishables. However, Queen Victoria took quite a liking to crumpets.
Okay.
And because she took quite a liking to crumpets, as we saw with the Christmas tree, they ended up becoming a staple just in the wider England, which is why crumpets are now such a thing at like tea time, afternoon tea.
Yeah.
And the reason that they rose up Queen Victoria.
Wow. What a trendsetter.
Genuinely.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, she was basically all people maybe had to really.
She was
Listen to.
the like equivalent of an influencer at the time,
She's
I would
proper
say.
Influencer. Yeah. And so I wonder how that happened for her. And she was given a crumpet. Like was she just wandering the streets? Like,
Yeah,
was she
was just being carried around.
she
And she was
just,
like, "You there?
crumpet?"
What is this that you have in your hand? Give it to me."
Very intrigued. Or was it like maybe her servants, her staff, her
I would
cooks
assume
were eating crumpets?
I would assume it must have been part of a wider like dish one day, because I couldn't see where the crumpet first crossed her lips. But I would assume that it was part of like a larger breakfast spread or something.
Yes.
You know?
Maybe she just wanted to try something a little exotic.
Maybe she just wanted to do like the common people.
Exactly.
And she was like, "Give me the most common thing you can think of," and they were like, "Well, we don't know about lobster yet. Here's a crumpet."
Here, crumpet.
Famously, lobster used to be a prison food.
I
Did you know
did
this?
not know this.
This is a
In somewhere like France, though, or in like-
America.
Okay,
So
right.
in America, originally, lobsters were classed as a punishment. You would be served them in prison, and it would. This is not one of my stories. It's just a fun story. So this one is real. I can tell you now, it's real.
You know, like food.
If they served lobster too much to you in prison, it was classed as cruel and unusual punishment. However, because they're just bugs, I hate lobsters. I have such a thing against lobsters and other shellfish.
They're sea bugs.
Yeah, they're just anyway. Let's not get into it. However, when it became more popular for like people to holiday, so people from like mainland or like inland America would like holiday out to the coasts. They were looking for like local food, and so people were like, "Well, we have so many fucking lobsters that we don't know what to do with. Let's just feed them lobster." And like these rich people that could afford to go on holiday loved it. And so that's how lobster now is so expensive.
That's wild.
Isn't that mad?
It's funny how that happens. I'm really curious as well. I am curious about how the punishment was in prison. Like, did you have to just fight into it with your own bare hands? Is that part of it?
Yeah. How would you eat the lobster? Surely
you have to like chew it off. Like, I mean,
don't
that to me, it's a cruel and unusual punishment.
Would they just serve you the full lobster,
Yeah.
or like I guess they'd maybe like mush it up? I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm not sure. I don't know much about prison food now. Never mind.
No.
Because I know like that's part of it. I guess is like you get the full lobster. Usually it's cut in half, right? A lobster. Have you ever eaten lobster?
I've tried it. I've never sat there and said, you know what I'm going to order now.
Yeah.
Giant lobster. However, I've had it when someone else has had it and then tried some.
Was it like?
I actually really liked it. It was, for me, it felt less mushy than a crab.
Okay. I realised I've never actually had crab. I thought I had done because I've had crab sticks. They're not crab.
I never knew that.
They're just whitefish.
Why did they call them crab sticks?
I don't know.
Guys, I'm messing with my mind.
They just like mush up other fish and then they give it crab. The name of crab.
Like crab with a K?
Sorry. Please don't choke.
Oh my god. Crab sticks.
Come get your crab sticks.
So easily could have the English language said they were called crops, and we would be none the wiser or think that's funny.
Yeah, if you'd shown me them as crub forever, I would have just assumed it was a fish.
Crop.
Now it's hilarious because it's not a fish. But yeah, oh man. But no, I've never had lobster. I had langoustine at a wedding not long ago.
Oh, what's that
I
again?
think it's just a little lobster.
It's like a really they like shrimpy, but more lobstery.
Yeah, it's like a big shrimp little lobster. I would say it was like
He don't know what he wants to be.
he's not decided yet. It was like a wedding where the husband, that's not the word, groom, where the groom is a chef, and so the people who were catering were like his team from his the restaurant. It was really
move.
They served, oh my god, for the dinner they had like the nibbly bits after the ceremony, which was the mini lobsters, whatever, langoustines and such, and then we had the dinner, and then they were like, oh, for the first bit it's just gonna be like bread and hummus and this like, I think it was called Braddad. It was like, sounds like granddad, but it's not. Brandad. I think it literally was called cod brandad.
Okay.
Which was like a cod mousse situation. And they were like, just eat that whilst we do the speeches and then we'll do the real dinner. But then obviously, like, no one really wants to, you want to be polite, but I was starving. And I was like, well, I guess the Brandad is right there. And it was so good. It was so tasty that I was like, I know they're going to take this away when the speeches are done. I need to get my fill now. I was just like scarfing it down, trying to signal to Hannah, like, you need to eat this.
Man,
quick.
bread dad.
Bread dad. Then we had the rest of the dinner, which was great, like a family style, like loads of stuff on the table and you grab it. And then after the ceilidh, there was a roast. They had been doing this like slow cooked barbecue the whole day, and then they opened up and gave us like rolls after the ceilidh. Oh,
they knew.
It was a masterclass in how to feed your guests.
Yes, it has to. That is so wise.
I know.
Now
that I've been there, I'm like, now I know there needs to be food right at the end of the night too.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be tired from the ceilidh.
Yep. I once was at a wedding, and at the dancing phase as it goes, they had just a whole room dedicated to cheeses.
Oh my god.
They were married in a very giant estate. It was
you would have
nice.
to be.
Yeah, this is the cheese room, but it was incredible, and it meant you could just like wander in anytime.
Wow.
Take a wee slice and walk off again.
Oh my god. I'm imagining like a plethora of cheeses.
Yeah, there was a bunch of cheeses.
Any melted cheese?
No, or like fondue, you mean? No. It was all sliced.
I'm a melted cheese girl.
Okay.
I'm not much of a intact cheese lady.
Yeah.
It completely changes how it tastes.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. Have you had many fondues in your life?
I don't think I've ever had a cheese. I think I've only ever had a chocolate fondue before.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, from where did we have a
Cosmo?
Cosmo.
Cosmo, the world buffet.
Plates of chocolate fondue.
I mean, thinking about it now, the amount of hands that were.
I know.
But my friend very recently was like, "Would you want to go to Cosmo?" And I was like, "No." I feel like. As soon as I hit like 28, my stomach was like, you can't do that again.
Yeah, I kind of had to leave it behind in your 20s.
It's like a thing that, it's a fond memory, but like I don't think I'd be able to handle it now.
And I would feel so tragic because what is it, like £20, maybe more?
I mean, it must be more now.
And like I would manage a plate.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like when I was in my 20s, I saw it as a challenge. I was like, it's gonna be 20 quid, and I'm gonna make sure that I eat 40 quid's worth. But now there's no way that I could do that. One time, I went to a buffet and I ate so much that I put my head on the table and I cried.
Oh my!
I was my stomach hurt so much. I was full that I just like put my head down and just cried.
Just walking around, you like, she's fine.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, because I'd eaten my fill, and then I realized that they also had burgers, and I was like, I've never been to a world buffet where there was a burger, so I also got a burger, and then.
So what happens, like, if you just, if people are like giving you a bunch of food and say you haven't stood up for a while, And then you're like, I made a mistake.
It's like when you're like drinking and then you go stand outside and you're like, uh-oh, I was totally sober and then I stood outside and now I'm on my arse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20s.
The 20s. Right.
Anyway.
I've got story number 3.
Amazing.
Final story of the night.
Okay.
You remember Gaston?
I love him in a not literal way, but what a character.
What a character. Famously, when he was a laddie, he ate 4 dozen eggs every morning
Yeah.
to help him get large.
And juggled them.
And now that he's grown, he eats 5 dozen eggs, so he's roughly the size of a barge.
Exactly. Yeah.
5 dozen eggs is 60 eggs. That's 60 eggs a day.
Yeah, he's not pooping.
That's what Hannah said.
Yeah.
I was talking to her about this, and she was like, "What else is he eating to make sure?" Because we were joking about how he would just pop them in. He wouldn't deshell them. He would just take them, and it was like probably the shells would give him the roughage he needs to be able to poop.
Yeah, you'd hope.
Because aren't eggs just all protein?
Yeah. I've only ever known them to be protein.
Madness. I thought they were all fat, and then Hannah was like, no, because I thought the yolk was just like a little fatty bit. Then Hannah was like, no, it's all protein. 60 eggs. Well,
Okay.
do you know maybe a less known name to you? What's his second name? Eddie Hall, I think his name is. World's Strongest Man.
Okay.
Eddie Hall. When he's on his World's Strongest Man term, like when he's trying to get his title, his diets are crazy. And for breakfast, he eats, let me see, I wrote it down. He eats 4 sausages, 4 bacon, 2 black puddings, eggs, beans, and 4 slices of fried toast. And this all comes out with his orange juice to about 2,000 calories.
Dang, for breakfast.
For breakfast.
Dang.
He eats that. I think he then drops his kid off at school or he says goodbye to his kid. Then he goes back to bed. And then he gets back up. Because, like, how would you stay awake after that? Mm-hmm. I bring him up in the same sentence as Gaston because Eddie Hall actually tried to eat 61 eggs.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie Hall cracked 61 eggs into like they were raw, into like a tub and tried to chug them down.
Oh.
And he threw up everywhere.
Yeah, I bet.
I watched the video.
I mean, even if that's not a true story, I believe someone has done that.
I watched a video of a guy who managed to drink it and didn't throw up everywhere. He really was going to many, many times, but he didn't throw up.
Do you think, what is it, do you think that makes people want to throw up? Is it the sheer volume of calories you're consuming at one point in time?
Specifically in this instance, for me, it would be the texture.
Yeah.
Because like raw eggs, I mean, you know when you get a bit of shell in there and you try and get the shell out and you cannot get it? That like viscosity.
Tip. Cup it up with a bit of eggshell. Another bit of eggshell. You can pick it up.
It's like how the only thing that can cut a diamond is a diamond.
There you go.
The only thing that can cut through egg is egg. But yeah, I feel like that viscosity, but like in your mouth. And then also, along with that, you then just get like a yolk. You know?
Just like...
I feel like trying to do it with one egg, I would throw up.
Yeah, I would agree.
But also, you're probably... The volume going into your stomach all at once would also be horrendous.
There's a lot of sensory overload happening.
Yeah, this is what made me think of earlier on about if you're eating egg and you remember it's an egg, does it make you feel sick? Because I can eat, like I said before, my breakfast, I can eat scrambled egg with some ham in it or cheese. I can sometimes manage an omelette, but that is my limit. A boiled egg is too much egg for me. It's such an egg. It's such an egg.
It is an egg.
It's like it smells like an egg. It looks. It's the purest egg form.
Yeah.
Can't have it. Yeah. My brain knows too well that this is an egg and I will feel sick.
Yep. The thing is, I love a boiled egg.
I tried really hard to like a boiled egg because when I was going to Japan, I was like, I'm going to have to eat boiled eggs in my ramen.
Yeah.
But
no. I
never managed it. The closest I ever got was putting a bunch of salt on the egg and then taking a bite of that bit of the egg and then resalting the egg. At that point, it was just a vehicle to get salt in my body.
Sometimes I'm the weirdo that's walking down the street with like a little tub of boiled eggs.
Why?
Because I find them quite nice as a snack.
What You're like out on a walk.
Well, yeah, like last week I was out on a walk with Greta and we stopped off in the supermarket and they, you know, those like prepackaged ones. And I just thought, you know what I want right now?
Oh,
2 boiled eggs.
just like a cold boiled egg
Yeah.
in the middle of the day. Oh God.
Says someone who likes paste.
Okay. No need to bring class into this.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have. It's too late.
Just like raw dog and a boiled egg. Like you don't even
Okay.
have condiments.
Yeah, no.
Like what?
That makes me part Gaston.
That's
not,
true.
Maybe not a compliment, really, but
Well,
I do sometimes feel like maybe it will make me a little stronger.
it's a good dose of protein. It will
is.
help you get through the rest of your walk.
I need my protein. I don't really eat much meat, so it's really good for me to get that egg. And
We joke in my house that I'm an obligate carnivore. That if I stop, I'll die like a shark.
just like roll over.
Yeah, just go belly up
Yeah.
from lack of meat. So I don't need. Maybe my body tells me not to eat eggs because I'm so crammed with protein all the time
Maybe.
that my body cannot handle the protein bomb that is the egg.
It is a literal bomb. It looks like a huge bomb. What?
Excuse me?
Oh, look. I've got an egg here. It's a
Wait,
pretty one, though.
that
You
is-
can't see it because
that's a
we're
nice
talking
egg.
about it. But it's like a little ornamental egg to remind me of eggy good times.
To remind you of the good times.
Ah.
The midday egg run that you
Midday
go
egg.
on. So, those are my 3 stories. To recap.
Okay.
1724, Joseph French, innkeeper, French toast.
His name is Joseph Toast.
Joseph Toast.
It could be, but no. Okay.
We got, much like Gaston, who would eat 60 eggs a day. Eddie Hall, world's strongest man, attempted to eat 61. Took literally 1 sip and threw up everywhere.
Fair.
Didn't manage it. However, does have a 2,000 calorie breakfast, which is mad. My TDEE for the day is under 2,000 calories for my entire day.
Yeah.
I believe my TDEE, my what is that? What is that when you're not total
I don't even know what you're saying.
daily
TDD.
TD
Total daily. You mean like
something exercise? A TDEE is the amount of calories you can have in the day and maintain the weight that you're at right now.
Yes.
So without adding any exercise or anything else, just like how many calories do you need to stay the weight you're currently at? I believe mine is something in the region of 1,600 or 1,800 calories.
Dang.
I know.
I've never counted it. I used to. I was quite on it, but no.
I've been
I don't have time
I've been
for
hitting the gym recently. So,
Well, you need to know then.
so yeah, well, I mean, I'm
to get your Gaston gains.
to get my Gaston gains. That's I do need to get on the eggs. But yeah. So Eddie Hall attempted 61 eggs, 1 more egg than the famous Gaston.
Okay.
Couldn't do it. Story number 3, crumpets. Holy, nasty. Queen Victoria likes them. Now they're in vogue. Those are your 3 stories. One of these stories is a fabrication.
Of a
Which story?
kitten. Okay, I have an instinct of what it could be.
I'm going to try and stay as...
Yes, you stay as
I'm
strong.
going to keep my poker face. However, I do want to hear your thought. I want to
Okay.
hear your musings.
So, Joseph French Toast.
His full name, yes. His full Christian name,
Yeah.
yes.
That to me is... Oh, at first I was like, no way he can, because, like, how can one person be inventing something like that if he's just a, like, poor lowly innkeeper? You know, if he was, like, a world-famous chef, I can understand that might happen. But I'm not so sure about him. Queen Victoria, trendsetter, indeed, like, for realsies. But crumpets, well, yeah, I can see her happen. I can see her doing it.
I can understand the question of how did it cross her table,
Yes,
because I did not find an answer to how it crossed her table.
yes, but it's... I know, yeah, I have nothing more to say apart from I can see that being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the egg guy. I mean, he could. I don't even know if this guy is even a person.
Eddie Hall / Eggy Hall.
Or even the world's strongest man. He could be. I know that's probably not the lie or truth, because I don't know who this person is. So, yeah, I will agree he is a real person. Am I allowed to ask questions?
61 eggs. You are allowed to ask questions. I reserve the Fifth Amendment right to not answer you if I think it's going to give up my position.
When did he do this stunt?
Not sure. Saw a video on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Not sure when this particular...
Did it look like an old video?
He was watching a video of a kid doing it. A kid as in like someone in their early 20s. And then he was like, nah. Okay, fine, I'll try it. Tried it. Threw up everywhere.
Right. So
I would say fairly recent video.
Okay. I'm just thinking of some grainy like video in like 95. A year after Gaston.
It's silent. Yeah. A silent video.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And he wanted to do this because he wanted, like, he just wanted to do it for the gram.
I'm assuming
followers.
I'm assuming that it was like he saw someone else do it and was like, I'm the world's strongest man. So he also tried to do it. One more egg than Gaston, famously the other world's strongest man.
Why would you... Was he still competing at this stage?
Now, this is I know more about Eddie Hall than I ought to, because I watched a video of him going through like his full day when he's like competing. Mm-hmm. So the only answer I have to that is his hair looked very similar to it did in that video when he was competing. I don't know if he's still world's strongest man or not. I'm not sure.
Right. Okay, so he's probably doing.
He
this
still
challenge
looks huge.
while
I think
he was doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I have also suspicions of him because I know he's a real person, but I don't know if that story is real. Mm-hmm. So,
I have specifically tried to pick stories that could all seem real and could all seem fake.
They are beautifully done, I have to say. I want
to win the game.
The game. Oh my gosh. Okay, my gut instinct was French toast. But now I'm wondering about Eddie. Okay. I'm gonna go with my initial gut instinct and say the lie. No, the lie is Eddie eating all his eggs.
Okay, that's you're locking in. Eddie Hall did not attempt to eat 61 eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. I will tell you the other ones.
Okay.
Joseph French is a real guy.
Oh.
Joseph French really did try to name French toast after himself and got it wrong and didn't name it French's toast. That was a truth.
No way.
Yeah.
What a chap.
I know, what a guy. Don't know how this came into actual history. Don't know why we know this.
But it's him. I mean, I always wondered that might happen, you know, when after you die, I'm like, something, maybe I'll be doing something really random right now in life and it won't be discovered until after my death. And then they'll be like, that's the best thing ever. It'll be something so dumb. It'll be nothing about talent. It'll just be something really strange.
The Annabel.
Yeah. What could that mean?
What could it be? It's like, I've forgotten what curry it is, but it's like a specific curry that was invented in Glasgow.
Ooh, Chasney.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
And then, like, I believe at one point they were going through this, like, legal battle about it. I don't remember what specifically was going on there. Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's at any point, something could be yours, could be your acclaim.
It's quite exciting.
So, if you want to be like Joseph French, you're going to have to figure out a new way to cook bread.
Yeah.
You're going to have to figure out a new way to hide stale bread when your bread goes stale.
Something really strange and unusual. Mm-hmm. Maybe the place it is stored.
Oh, maybe the place that it's stored. Look around, figure something out.
Okay.
Queen Victoria, to my knowledge, never ate a crumpet.
Oh.
This was the lie.
Oh, Queen Victoria.
I don't know where crumpets come from. I don't know how they became popular.
Why would I know?
Why would I know that, Annabel? So I win the game.
Darn.
Eddie Hall did try to eat 61
Well,
eggs, and he did fail drastically.
God, well, a good job him, I guess. I mean, I don't know really why you would try, but
Who wins in that situation?
who wins?
Even if you keep the eggs down.
the internet.
I suppose the internet wins. I'll show you the video if you want your proof.
Cool.
The crumpets, when I was thinking earlier on about what story can I fabricate that will still sound like it could be real, I was fixated on something that was going to have holes in it. I was my first thought was like, I need to think of a part of breakfast that has holes in it now, and I'm going to say that they never always had holes in them. Like a cereal that has now got a hole in it, I'm going to say it never used to have a hole in it.
Getcha.
But I couldn't get it together. And then until crumpets came into the mix, and I thought, you know what, maybe crumpets never used to have the holes in. That part is true, they never used to have the holes in. But then I was like, crumpets kind of look gross, and I went from there.
I love that. I mean, you really reeled me in with Queen Victoria.
Yes. She brings the credibility that you need to a story like that.
That's true. She looks the part. She seems to act the part from the photos I have ever seen of her. And the many films, I think I just think of Judi Dench. So I trust her.
I feel like I could see Judi Dench's face in any of the female
in a
monarchs. In a crumpet.
Like Jesus.
Whenever I look into a crumpet, I see Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah.
I just feel like if there was ever someone to play any of the female monarchs that have passed, I would assume that person would have been Judi Dench.
And she's played many.
Yeah.
Already. She's played Elizabeth I and Victoria.
I'm going to ask a really dumb question.
I probably won't know the answer, but...
Elizabeth I was not the Queen Mother.
No. Because her name was... they just called her like something like Elizabeth Bowles.
Oh.
But she was never the first of anything. She was never
never the queen.
The actual queen.
Yeah. She was married in.
Yes.
And then I almost said dad. Her husband died, and she became Queen Mother immediately thereafter because what's her name?
Elizabeth II.
Lizzie.
Yeah.
Was like a child queen.
Pretty much. She was like in her late teens or early 20s. Yes. I think. That's right.
So Elizabeth I was like the ginger one.
That's right.
Ah, yes.
She is the ginger one.
It's all coming together.
There you go.
Was she the one that chopped the head off?
Of Mary Queen of Scots?
Uh-huh.
Not herself.
No, but like that was the same.
Yeah, she ordered it. And they were cousins.
Oh, I mean, they're all
cousins.
They're all cousins. They're all connected in some way.
Yeah. She made that decision.
Interesting. Well,
wow, that was great.
Did you enjoy?
I enjoyed that.
Good. I enjoyed telling you my stories. I always get the like fear in my tummy when I tell a lie. You know
really,
what I mean?
Was that going strong?
When you
for
just get like a little tingle in your tummy. So I was like, crumpets.
Crumpets
in the Victorian period.
Which part of Victorian period? I didn't go in depth history there.
I know, I wouldn't have been able to answer you. I was just like, Victorian period seems like the right time that something like that would happen, and easy to just lump things into Queen Victoria.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm trying to think what theme I would like to give you for your stories. We are talking about monarchy at the moment, but I'm not much of a monarchy fan.
Fair.
I'm not one for the monarchy.
Could it be monarchs from other countries? Would that diffuse?
Mayhaps. I will give you a really broad topic.
Okay.
I'm going to go with female historical figures.
Okay.
I want 3 stories, and I want one of either the stories or the figures to be fictional.
Okay.
And then you'll be the storyteller, and I'll be the skeptic.
Amazing. Okay. It's a date.
It's a date that we've not set.
No.
But we will do.
We'll figure that out.
At some point. Hopefully with less time in between than the last one and this one.
Because that was years.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It
Sorry,
was
everyone.
A long time.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Our bad.
Oh well, things happen. Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am about to start a master's, so we'll see.
I'll see how it goes.
But
also
I want
having
to.
huge life things.
Yeah,
It just happens.
yeah, stuff's always happening.
Yep.
Well,
Right. Great ending.
please join us next time
Yes.
for some stories about female historical figures.
And we'll still call it breakfast food.
Probably. We'll see. We'll see how this one comes out in the edit.
Okay, bye.
Okay,
ciao.
bye. I love you.